Hi, good evening everyone. So, in today is the day 18th of the year of mains answer writing. In this week, we are covering the polity and constitution part, and we are discussing the previous year question here. Those who are new here, we are giving you a question in morning on daily basis, and in evening at 6 o'clock, I am taking the discussion of the same question. You can submit your answers at the Edukemy website in a program named as a master program for the mains and prelims. So it can be evaluated by our expert mentors. The today question was about the federalism. Today question was about the federalism. So let's see what is the question. The question is, how far do you think the cooperation how far do you think cooperation, competition and confrontation have shaped the nature of federation in India? Cite some recent examples to validate your answer. This was a question asked in the UPSC in 2020 and it was a 10 marker question. It was a 10 marker and asked in the UPSC 2020 in GS2. So here the question is saying, how far do you think, what is your view on, is the federation in India evolved due to cooperation, competition and the confrontation? So we need to be focused on these three keywords: cooperation, competition and confrontation, and we need to support our answer with the examples in each of the keywords. What can be the example for the cooperation among the different states? It can be the cooperation among the center and state. Competition, how the different states are competing with each other. How the confrontation between center and state because of some of the issue. The issue can be related to the distribution of taxes. It can be related to the post of the governor. So we need to write the examples in each of these keywords related to cooperation, related to competition, related to confrontation. So this is the main core demand of the question. We can divide the question in three parts, as usually we are dividing in the introduction, body and the conclusion. First is the introduction, then in the body and conclusion. So in introduction, what we can write here? Anybody can tell me what we can write in the introduction? Okay, ठीक है. Let's see. In Indian Constitution, nowhere the term federation is mentioned, and the India is not an agreement in between different states like the USA. India, the federation is not an agreement. So we can say that the federation in the country, the federalism in the India is evolving on the basis of cooperation between the center and states, competition between different states and the confrontation between center and the states. So we can start the introduction like this. The second way of starting the introduction is here. We can mention the recent context where we can see the evolution of the federalism on the basis of these three keywords: cooperation, competition and the confrontation. In the case of the recent report released by the Niti Aayog related to the health index, related to the sustainable development goal index, related to the cleanliness index, which create a phenomenon of competition between different states that is make the federalism more strong. The making of the GST council, the implementation of the GST, decision of the GST council by the different states in a meeting is making this federalism more strong. We can also add up here the finance commission guidelines implementation by the states. It's also a kind of federalism that's evolving on a daily basis. So the cooperation, competition and the confrontation are playing the major role in shaping the federation in the country. So we can write the introduction in both the way. Okay. So now in the body part, what is the requirement in the body part? In the body part, we need to be right about number 1, role of cooperation. Role of cooperation in shaping federation. Role of cooperation in shaping federation or federalism. Federation or federalism. Second, we need to be right about the role of competition. Role of competition in shaping federation. Third, we need to be right about the role of confrontation. Role of confrontation. So we need to be right about the each specific points in the each subheadings. We will make 3 subheadings here. The first subheading will be the role of cooperation in the center and the states, and we need to be mentioned here the recent examples. Without example, the question is not complete. You will get 2-3 marks without example if you are not adding in the questions. Then we need to be right about the role of competition shaping the federation in the country. We need to be list out the different examples. Recent example, real-time example we need to be add here. Then finally, the confrontation role in shaping the federalism. So we need to be address the main core demand through the question, and also it will justify the answer. That is the main core demand. So if we see the question again, here the question demand is, how far do you think the cooperation, competition and the confrontation have shaped the nature of federation? So on these 3 keywords, the question is overall based, and the second part is saying cite some recent example to validate your answer. If you are writing your argument here, you need to be validate with the example. So without validation, the question is incomplete. Clear? Okay, let's move to the body part. In the first part of the body, we will discuss about the cooperation shaping the nature of Indian federalism. How cooperation is shaping the nature of Indian federalism. The cooperation between the center and the states, and the cooperation between different states is shaping the federalism in the country. So on the first of this point, we can say the Finance Commission report, the recent Finance Commission report, and the devolution of taxes by the Finance Commission to the states. It's almost about a 42% devolution of taxes by center to the states. So the Finance Commission role in the federalism is huge. Every state is implementing the guideline of the Finance Commission, and it's a cooperation, it's a direct example of the cooperation between the center and the states on the basis of a division of the taxation in the country. So it's a real-time example you can quote when you're writing about the cooperation between the center and state. Second is about the Niti Aayog. Before the Niti Aayog, there was a planning commission. Planning commission was looking at the planning for the different states. But now the role is changed. The Niti Aayog as a think tank. Niti Aayog is focusing on the specific terms how it can increase the cooperative federalism between the different states. Either it's the implementation of any policy like the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, or it's implementation of Sustainable Development Goal Index, or it's about the Cleanliness Index. Where the Niti Aayog is framing the policy at the central level and implementing in the different state, but here the state also has their own role. How the state is performing in those policy, which increase a level of competitiveness. We can write this example in the next point. So Niti Aayog role in maintaining a balance between the center and the different kind of states. So it play a huge role in cooperation between the center and states and play a good role in the federalism. Then how the cooperation between the different states comes here, the interstate councils, the meeting of the interstate council, like the use of Aadhaar card for identification, It's from the center, and now every state is using the Aadhaar card for the identification of the beneficiary. The use of the direct benefit transfer for subsidies, even it's a fertilizer subsidies, even it's a subsidy for the LPG cylinder, even it's for the PDS. Jan Dhan Aadhaar Mobile. So every state is using it, and the decision through the interstate councils. Then the zonal councils, how the India is divided in the 5 zones and how the different zones is working. The working committee of the National Disaster Management Authority, how they can tackle the disasters. So they are sitting together and discussing on those areas. Jail reforms, police reforms, RTI implementation, all are the cooperation between the states. So you need to write down these examples when you making your argument related to the how the cooperation, competition and the confrontation increase the federation between the center and states. Then the promoting the internal security, the border managements between the Andhra Pradesh and the Odisha, solving their border dispute on its own. The border dispute in the northeast states is solved on its own by the interference of the center also in some cases. So these things you can write how they are promoting how they are shaping the nature of Indian Federation. So you need to write this in the first headings, the cooperation shaping the nature of the Indian Federation. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay. Now move to the second part, how the competition is shaping the nature of Indian Federation. For investment, do you think like the for investment recently there was a meeting in the UP, invest in the Uttar Pradesh, specific same type of the convention in the Kerala, invest in the Kerala, mega defense council show in the Uttar Pradesh for the investment. Similarly, the kind of the mega meets, mega fest by the different state for the investment of the different kind of the private company investment, or it may be the investment in some of the specific products. So for investment, the states are competing with each other. Yes, we will give the most favorable policy. We will provide you the most security. We will make rules so it can be the fruitful for both the parties. So for investment, the states are competing with each other, and it's shaping a different kind of the federation. It's shaping the nature of the federation. It's also helping in the development. Next is the better performer. अगर हम देखें about the नीति आयोग index related to the cleanliness, Indore is the city which is having the ranking first in the many years from when the index was started by the Niti Ayog. Sustainable Development Goal Index, Water Index, even the NIRF Index is a recently released National Institutional Framework. Result is released, and there was a question mark by the Odisha CM why there was not any of the University of the Odisha in the top 10 of the ranking. So this is a type of the competition arising in the different states when they are ranked according to the parameter of development, parameter of the quality education, parameter of the quality health. So that question mark is having a question mark on the health minister, question mark on the education minister, how the policy is working, why there is not a single university of the Odisha in the top 10. So it's focusing on the better performance, and is shaping the nature of the Indian Federation. Then adopting the different policy, adopting the central policy by the different states, the 15th Finance Commission report. Some of the states implemented the policy earlier, but some of the southern states implement the same later on. Foreign investments, the Gujarat is having the highest foreign investment hub, FDI. If we say the overall FDI of the country, the 37% of the FDI is going to Gujarat. Then the Maharashtra is on the second number with the 27%. So it's increased the level of competitiveness in different states, and which is shaping the Indian Federation. It's moving federation to other different sites, and it's evolving from the past time through the cooperation, through the competition, and now let's see how it's shaping through the confrontation. Everybody know the coalition governments. The day before yesterday, incidents in the Maharashtra. Coalition government at center from 2019 to 2004 to 2014 by the UPA. Now the NDA government in the center even after the majority. So it's shaping a different kind of federation, because from the different state party having the MPs, they are joining together and making the government at the center, and which is shaping the federation by implementing the policy, the state specific policy, implementing different kind of the things which are in the center at the national level. Interstate disputes, interstate voter related dispute, interstate border disputes, the water related dispute in the Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, river water disputes between the Haryana and the Punjab, Satluj Yamuna link dispute. These are confrontation between the states, even the confrontation between the center and the states related to some of the policy. Related to the policy of the confrontation between the Karnataka and the central government, the FCI is not releasing grain to the Karnataka, but is opening to the open market operation. The confrontation between the center and the states. The confrontation between the center and the states related to the governor post. The role of the governor is always controversial. When the new government come to the role, they are transferring the governor. There is also a confrontation. The latest data, if you are reading the newspaper continuously, the day before yesterday, the governor dismissed the minister from the Tamil Nadu government. So, post of the governor is also controversial. Is it the power of the governor to dismiss the minister of a state? So, this is the controversial. And due to these confrontation, there is some of the changes in the relation between the federalism between the center and the states. So these are the things you need to be mentioned in the answer under the different headings, subheadings, and by using the examples. If you are not adding the example, not adding the real time example, the question is not complete. You are not justifying your facts, you are writing in the answer. Okay, now move to the conclusion part. Conclusion is as important as the introduction is. How you can conclude this kind of question? You can write about the Indian federalism is evolving since its independence. From the majority government, it's moving toward the coalition government, then again to the majority governments. The distribution of taxes between the different states, the implementation of the GST to the overall country. In a few examples of the evolution of the federation in the country through the different methods of the cooperation between the different states, the cooperation of the different states in the corona, where all the states come together to tackle this pandemic, the cooperation of the distribution of the vaccine in the different states. So you can conclude the answer like this. I hope this is clear to everyone. A request to you, please submit your answer so we can evaluate you. If you are not writing the answer, please try to write. This series will continue till the 15th of September. We will discuss some of the questions of the previous year. From the first week, we are discussing from the ancient, medieval and culture. In the second week, we discuss the modern history. Then we move to the geography, and now we are discussing the polity and constitution, the GS2. Okay, so we will meet tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. You will get the new question at 11 a.m. in the Telegram group of the Edukemy. You can join the Gear Up Mains Answer Writing. You can join the Gear Up Mains Answer Writing group. Mains Answer Writing. (2023) on Edukemy website, Edukemy Telegram channels. You will get the question there. Okay. So we will meet tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. See you tomorrow. Thank you.